to Dr. Rivka Hussain about the value of perseverance and belief in one's ability. Next, we sit down with Marlene Leroux, director of the renowned Artscape Theatre, about her activism. Then we meet up with well-known media personality Kia Johnson about life in the spotlight. And lastly, we speak to Mu'allima Mariam Edwards about her tremendous work in the field of dawah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Inspirational Woman. May the peace and blessings of Almighty be with you and your family, wherever you are. I'm Najwa Muhammad Ladi, and I'm in the company of a very beautiful young intellectual medical doctor, Dr. Rivka Hussain. Good day, Dr. Hussain.
Good day, Najwa.
How are you, my darling?
I'm good, a bit nervous.
No, we don't do nervous, my sweetheart. I see on your pamphlet here,
Yes.
you are Dr. Rivka and not Dr. Hussain. I know it's Rivka Hussain, but there's a little story with Dr. Rivka. Maybe you can share that with our viewers.
So the interesting story is, usually doctors are called by their surnames,
Right.
but because I was doing some work in Tafelsig, the free clinic that I run in Tafelsig, I see some patients for pro bono there actually. And so because patients get to know you very well, so they start to call you by your first name. And when we started speaking to them, they just naturally caught onto the Dr. Rivka. So I decided to name the practice Dr. Rivka. That's actually why.
Fantastic, man. And congratulations also on your new practice.
Thank you.
Okay. Doctor, very interesting story. And on Facebook, you'll boldly say that you're a proud product of parents with no formal education. Talk to us a little bit about your journey growing up with parents with no formal education.
Okay, so mom and dad, like you say, have no formal education. Have finished, I think the highest grade was grade 9 maybe, so
Which is
standard 7.
Standard 7.
Back in the day. And I think that mom and dad always pushing us to study, and I grew up in a 1-bedroom house, by the way. So mom and dad would share the bedroom, and we lived in the lounge. I've got 5 siblings, and we stayed in the lounge. I slept on the couch. Wow. And then later on we moved into the Mitchell's Plain area. But mom was sort of always pushing us, like I said, to study. And she did some strange things with us growing up, so that she could inspire us, I think. And what she would do is she would take us to UWC or to UCT, and she would take us to walk there. And while we were little, so we didn't understand what we're doing there. And she would also
just as a visit.
Just as a visit.
Okay.
And she would say, if you speak to another, she would say that she would want you to breathe the air of knowledge and education. Yeah.
Yes.
And she would take us into the library to see, and she'll say, look how big the library is.
Yes.
And we're like little, and I can imagine like seeing this big library. Yes. And now I'm getting emotional.
It is an emotional story. I mean, I'm also, tearing up because it just shows the dedication and the hard work of your parents, and it's all through them that you are where you are today. And I remember you also mentioned that all of your siblings are educated.
Yeah, so all of them are educated. I've got a brother who is a doing civil work. Then I've got two sisters who are geologists, and then one sister who is a social worker, and she also has a PhD, also a play therapist.
Wow.
So all of us are educated, and it was a long walk. So we didn't have the funds to obviously study, and I applied for a bursary, and that's basically how I was able to study. I used to have to travel also in sometimes to campus. And was a long journey home from Mitchell's Plain to Tygerberg campus. So I would have to do that sometimes, and sometimes obviously I have to wait for my mom because after she worked, so then she would pick me up from there. But yeah.
And Dr. Rivka, studying, to become a doctor, there must have been many challenges. Talk to us about those challenges as well.
Yeah, so as a doctor, for the first time, I went to a disadvantaged school, you would call it.
Yes, and
so
where was that?
That was in Athlone, so Garlandale High School.
Right.
So we didn't have labs and those kind of things that you need for physics and chemistry and so on.
Yes.
And so when I went to university, it was quite very overwhelming for the first time to be in such a massive class and to be, we also at Stellenbosch University, it's half English, half Afrikaans. So I would have to study some of the lectures would be done in Afrikaans.
For medicine?
So, for medicine,
okay.
Yeah. So, and being English speaking, I would have to adjust to that. And so I basically used to sit next to Afrikaans friends and have them translate for me and so on.
Yeah.
And then also, obviously, because we didn't have much money, I was obviously not one of the ones who was able to be picked up immediately. So I'd have to stay long hours and use the hours to study. So lots of challenges. We would have to go to Stellenbosch. Stellenbosch also does outreach programs.
Yes.
So you could study or go to hospitals in Worcester. And I don't have my own car. So sometimes we would have to walk to the hospital and back. Lots of things.
Yeah, many challenges. And how many years was that for? How many years do you study to become a GP?
So to become a GP, you study 6 years, and then you do 2 years internship and 1 year community service. So it was a long study year. And then I also did, interestingly enough, I did the extended degree program. And the reason for that is because I went to a disadvantaged school.
Right.
So my physics marks wasn't so good for that because of the
serious?
school. Yeah.
Wow.
So then I did an extended program. But I think that it built a lot of character in me.
It does. It really does.
So.
And Dr. Rifka, because of that, you never gave up, you know?
No.
And understanding the hardships of the community and the struggles, how does the community benefit of your services here in East River?
So my ultimate goal, which was actually to service the community. So I didn't initially want to start a private practice because it means that I would need to charge patients, obviously, to make a living. So how I sort of balanced it out is that I do a lot of outreach clinics. So last week we ran, I think it was a week ago, we ran a free clinic here with 4 of the girls that I studied with, colleagues of mine now. And so we did one for the community. And then I've also done outreaches into the Kleinvlei area at also to see the kiddies there on Youth Day or during the school holidays, and saw them for free. And then I'm also still doing my Tafelsig free clinic, obviously. So I'm trying to make the business and the free goodies, the pro bono goodies balance at the moment, which is very tough. But I think that in terms of who I am and to be my authentic self, I have to do that. It's part of my character and part of my personality, so I have no choice.
Incredible. We absolutely love you, darling. You're in the area now for about 2 months.
Yeah.
Your own practice, private practice. It must have been something extremely overwhelming, not only for you and your family, you know, for somebody to have their own business.
Yeah.
Is family important to you?
Family is extremely important to me. So I think in a coloured family, it's got to do with networks. So I have sometimes my aunt bringing in some patients, and I have my cousin who's also in the community, and so it's a lot of links that you've got to do. But what is interesting is, so I am the first, obviously the first one to open a business in the family at the moment. So because of that, they're very proud of it. But it's also been a lonely journey, because that means that I don't have the necessary support or so on, that somebody would know this is to tell you this is exactly the steps that you need to take.
Right.
So things go wrong here and there, but I'm learning along the way.
Fantastic.
And I suppose for the next generation, it would be amazing, because I'd be able to assist anybody.
Yeah, and that's what I just wanted to say. You are willing to assist and guide anybody, not just medical doctors that would love to start. Would you love to share your practice maybe with other medical professionals?
I probably would want to. I'm looking for somebody who's got the same crazy heart at the moment. So I'm wanting to add those services on. It would be really amazing to obviously be able to offer a full center. So I actually envision this being a community center more than just a private practice. And that's what I want.
God willing, it will take place, my darling. Dr. Rivka, what kind of services do you offer your community here in East River, or even the extended community?
Okay, so at the moment we offer, my private practice offers general health services. So we do checkups for chronic illnesses like your hypertension, diabetes, and then we also do acute illnesses. And then I also do, so part of my community service, when I was studying, I did a section of it in obstetrics and gynae. And so because of that, I have a huge interest in gynecological issues. My friends or my colleagues would say I'm they say a closet gynae. So somebody wanted to be one, never got there. And so I do offer quite a few of women's health services as well.
Oh, that's fantastic. And there we're talking your pap smears, your STD treatments, that kind of thing?
Correct, and breast exams and so on. I think it's better. I think you're more comfortable as a woman to be with another female examining you than going to a male. It's a preference, obviously, but I think a lot of females feel more comfortable.
Absolutely. Dr. Rivka, your inspirational words to the world, particularly somebody watching thinking, I'm a poor young girl, what would you say to them?
I would say that when we are placed under circumstances, instead of focusing on the circumstances, that's when we've been given this amazing gift to create, all of us. And so I think we are the only species to be able to create things out of nothing. So I think that that's what we've been given. It's a gift that we've been given. And so we have the ability to do that. No other species can do that. So I think to that young girl watching, I would say that you have the ability to create anything out of nothing. And so I think that if she's looking at the circumstances and thinking that nothing can come out of it, it's not the truth. It's definitely something that she can do with it. And one of them would be education. Not all of us reach that point, but I think to move towards that and to better the next generation would be a starting point for someone.
Absolutely. Within a second, a message to mom and dad.
To mom and dad, I would say, I'll get emotional, sorry, Nadja. So I would say thank you. And thank you for pushing me, and thank you for doing so much for me and making me believe that anything is possible. That's it.
Dr. Rivka, we as the ITV team are very proud of you. And may Almighty God just let you grow in strength and in your business to provide a much needed service in your community. So all of the best, and thank you very much for allowing us into your space.
Thank you so much, Najwa.
En na die gaan ons lekker huil. From myself and this beautiful Dr. Rivka, I want to wish you a beautiful week ahead. Fi amanillah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Ek moet vir julle sê, ek hou daarvan om vir mense te gaan kuier wat 'n inspirasie is vir my en wat niks vir hulle laat onderkry nie. Assalamu alaikum, hallo en hartlike welkom by Inspirational Woman. Ek is Abida Dixon Mohammed. My gas vandag is die wonderlike, mooiste vrou met die naam van Malin Leroux en sy is die CEO van die Artscape. Hallo Auntie Malin.
Maar jy laat my ook lag, want jy doen dit so absoluut. Ek wonder van wie jy praat.
Ek moet sê, om ons nou 'n inspirasie te wees vir enige een, is mos nou nie altyd maklik nie. Want vir nommer 1, soos ek weet, en soos u altyd dan gesels en nie wegsteek nie, het u dan ook 'n siekte, het dan ook, kom ons sê, 'n been wat nie so gesond is nie. En allerlei tipe van goeders. Maar u pak die lewe so aan, so mooi en so wonderlik. Wat laat vir u hierdie doen en nie vir u terughou met wat ons dalk sal sê, is miskien iets wat nie vir my is nie.
Ek dink wat belangrik is, Abida, ek wil net vir jou sê, jy lyk baie mooi in jou geel. En soos jy nou vandag kom na my toe, sien ek vir jou weer as 'n geskenk in my lewe. En ek baseer my lewe op hoe ander mense my ook inspireer. Want ek voel daar was so baie geleenthede vir my gegee en deure wat oopgemaak is vir my deur ander mense. So ek pak my lewe ook aan in terme van 'n groter wese. Ek glo daar is ook 'n groter wese wat na ons kyk. En dit is altyd oor jou houding, hoe jy die lewe sien. Ek sien myself as 'n fasiliteerder van mense en geleenthede hier by Aardskip. Ek sien my glad nie as die CEO nie.
Vir my is nou 5 dae vir hy CEO. En ek moet daarom wil sê,
Want ek wil net sê,
mans, julle moet oppas.
want ek voel altyd dat belangrik is ons sekuriteit persoon, ons skoonmaker vrou is net so belangrik soos die direkteure, want hulle dra by tot die toestand van die maatskappy. So is baie belangrik hoe jy en ook dan ook die persoon wat tee maak, want as die persoon nie vir jou 'n lekker koppie tee gee met 'n spring in 'n huppel en hulle stap nie, gaan die tee nie lekker smaak nie. En wat vir my belangrik is dat ek het baie 2 groot rolmodelle gehad. My ouma en my ma, en ek weet nie hoe hulle dit gedoen het nie. Want my ouma was 'n gewone plaaswerker, het ook gewerk in mense se huise. My ma was 'n factory werker en in die apartheidsera, want ek is 'n vrou van 52, so ek sê altyd ek is 'n survivor van die apartheid. En om breingroot te word en gestremd te wees, want ek het polio gekry toe ek 3 maande oud was en in die skema groot geword het ek ook in 'n gemeenskap groot geword wat mekaar geabba het. Ek noem dit die Abba gemeenskap. Ek noem dit ook die lappies kombers gemeenskap, want ons was divers. Ons het almal mekaar gehelp en so die mense vir my geabba, die bure, want my ma was 'n enkel vrou wat vir my geabba het tot by die trein 'n uur. Want ons het nie 'n motor gehad nie om Prinses Alice home toe te kom, sodat ek my ondersoeke kan kry. So, omdat ek polio gehad het, ek moet my caliper laat fit het. En sodoende het ek ook gesien hoe ander mense wil bydra dat moet goed gaan met my. En dis hoekom ek elke dag teruggee. My lewe gaan nie oor myself nie. Dit gaan oor, hoe kan ek vir iemand anders ook 'n deur oopmaak, want daar was so baie deure vir my oopgemaak. En dis hoekom ek glo in ons diversiteit. Ek glo in ons land. Ek glo ook dat as ons met mekaar kan praat, kan ons dinge oorbrug. Maar as ons gedurig mekaar verskillend gaan sien, gaan ons nie by mekaar kan uitkom nie. Ek voel ook, alhoewel ek postpolio het, en postpolio is dat jou spiere verswak. En veral as 'n vrou is dit nog erger, want jy weet, toe die Almighty 'n vrou skape, en die Almighty net vir ons blessings gegee, met hoe ons voel oor, en dat ons sê dat, we awesome nie. Die Almighty het ook vir ons baie uitdagings gegee in die lewe, want ons moet kinders dra, ons moet kinders baar, en ons kry hysterektomies, ons kry alles wat daar is, jy weet, so om 'n vrou te wees, my liewe land. moet jy kan weet, jy's 'n vrou. So, met postpolio is dit nog alles wat daarmee gaan. Soos jy nou weet, vandag was ek alweer gou by die hospitaal 'n inspuiting gekry, sodat ek net weer kan beweeg. Maar, as ek nou besluit het vandag, die inspuiting is nou so groot. Hallo, skree nou vir die paar minute in die hospitaal. So ek het nou eers geskree in die hospitaal, en my lippe gaan aansit in die toilet, en toe het ek besluit, ek kom na Auntie Abida toe nou vir die onderhoud. So, wat ek wil eintlik sê is 'n mensehouding oor die lewe. My lewe, kan ek vir jou sê, is ook nie met rose gesaai nie. Daar is ook baie hartseer in my lewe. Ek het my pragtige lig van my lewe, wat serebraal gestremd was, verloor 2 jaar terug?
Laat ek nou net gou-gou vir jy sê, né? Auntie Malien as 'n gestremde persoon laat vir my so binne toe al klaar so lag dat ek dit nie regtig wil uitbring nie, want die storie gaan oor Auntie Malien, maar ek moet vir jy sê die positiwiteit wat uitkom daar is amazing. En ek sê elke dag, ek en u wat blak en gesond is, wat niks vir onsself of te lui is om iets vir onsself te doen nie. Kyk op na hierdie mense wat dalk miskien gestremd is, maar hulle laat niks vir hulle onderkry nie. En daar, net daar, kan ek en u iets leer. Auntie Malien het dan nou gepraat nou van die seun wat nou oorlede is 2 jaar gelede. Hoe was dit vir u om presies te kyk na hom en vir hom te versorg?
Ek het 2 pragtige engele gehad. Van Adam kon niks vir homself doen. Hy kon nie sien nie, hy kon nie praat nie, hy kan nie loop nie. En hy kon niks vir homself doen nie. Maar ons 2 kon kommunikeer. Ek het presies geweet wat hy wil hê. Hy het presies geweet hoe om die hele huishouding te manipuleer. En dis hoekom ek so dankbaar is dat ek 'n werk gehad het. En 'n werk het om vir hom te kan versorg by die huis, sodat ek 'n mini medikliniek by die huis kon gehad het. Maar my lewe was basis werk toe, Adam, en dan het ek met hom elke aand gebad, vir hom gevoer. Maar weet jy wat was die mooiste? Hy was die lig van my lewe. Hy het vir my energie gegee. Maar ek gebruik ook Adam se storie om die regering, om plaaslike regering, vir hulle wel te kan sê, nie almal is Malien Leroux wat na Adam George kon kyk, omdat ek 'n salaris gehad het nie. As jy 'n kind soos Adam het, en jy op die 4de vloer bly, in 'n flat in Manenberg, of in 'n shack in Kailicha, is jou lewe nie maklik nie. En dit is hoekom dit vir my belangrik is, dat ek deel is van 'n span, wat 'n drukgroep is, om vir die regering te sê, dit is hoe jy moet kyk na ouers, hoe jy moet kyk vir al maans, van man stap uit die huwelike uit, hulle raak heeltemal apaties, en die vrou kry geen ondersteuning nie, want hulle kan dit nie verwerk, dat hulle wel so 'n kind het nie. So dit is 'n pad wat jy moet loop. So jy kan besluit of jy dit positief gaan aanpak, maar ek wil ook net sê, op hierdie program, vir die vrouens wat wel kinders het, soos my Adam, ek weet wat dit is.
Hoe oud was hy gewees?
Hy was 16 toe hy oorlede is 2 jaar terug, en 2000 mense van verskillende gelowe, van verskillende agtergronde, het sy begrafnis bygewoon. En dit het my so geraak, dat mense omgee. En wat Adam se storie elke dag vir my bewys, dit is nie die motor wat jy ry, dit is nie die huis wat jy in bly, dit is nie die pragtigste klere en die diamonds wat jy dra, wat ander mense in jou laat glo nie. Mense het gehuil by Adam se dood.
Ek kan my net indink. Maar dan moet ek nog gou vir u sê, ek hoor nou die auntie praat lekker van diamonds en al die tipe van goeders. Ek dink ek moet 'n bietjie kom krap in na Kaapstad.
En weet jy, hierdie fake pearls lyk net so mooi soos die regtes.
Auntie Malien, amper voor ons gaan afsluit. U is dan nou die CEO van die Kunste Kape, die Artscape. Vertel ons so 'n bietjie van die Artscape.
Vir ons is dit baie belangrik om dit te noem dat hier is 'n plek wat jy kan kom asemhaal. Dit is 'n plek waar vir almal iets is. Soos ons het gekyk na al ons kyk na vroueregte, ons kyk ook na mansregte, ons kyk na almal, maar ons is die enigste teater in die wêreld wat 'n dua-kamer het. En ons gebruik dit vir meditasie, so ons werkers kan gaan enige tyd, wanneer dit Magrieb is, kan jy jou gebede, as 'n laagkamer om hulle dua te gaan doen. En dit was so belangrik, want vir die eerste keer het my hier Zayn met 'n orkes hier by Artscape gesing in sy hele loopbaan, en hy het 1.2 biljoen aanhang, en is 'n moslim sanger, en ons was uitverkoop vir 3 dae aan een. So wat ons eintlik wil sê is dat hierdie plek met 'n goeie span het ons regtig omarm en gesê, dis 'n plek wat ons wil wys vir die wêreld, dat ons diversiteit omarm, maar ook menslikheid omarm.
Okay. Auntie Malien, 'n paar sekondes. Wat sal u advies wees vir ons vroue wat dink hulle is goed genoeg vir niks nie.
Moenie jouself so ernstig opneem nie, maar elkeen het 'n talent. Dis jou houding wat jy moet verander teenoor jouself en teenoor ander. Hoe jy jouself uitstraal, so trek jy mense aan.
En ek moet vir jy sê, ek los nie met daardie woorde, so sê my gas, Malien, en sy is die CEO van die Artscape. Tot volgende keer, mooi bly. Ek is Abida Dixon Mohammed. Totsiens. Wassalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Inspirational Woman. May the peace, blessings and mercy of Almighty God be with you and your family wherever you are. I'm Najwa Muhammad Ladi, as I said, and I'm so happy to be in the company of a beautiful young lady, vivacious, sparkly, intellectual and extremely humble, Kia Johnson. Hello, my darling, and welcome to ITV Networks.
Hi, Najwa. Thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor to finally meet the famous Najwa.
Kia, thank you so much. We really do appreciate. We know you're an extremely busy girl, busy young lady, so beautiful, mashallah. You still look so 20s. Okay, we won't reveal that, my sweetheart. Kia,
Yes.
please tell our viewers and all our listeners, who is this amazing Saskia Johnson?
Well, that's my full name,
What's
yes.
your
So the
full
stage name is Kia Johnson. I'm a television and radio presenter. I have been in the industry for a few years now. I started out very humbly working for a retail radio company. Did that for a few years before I eventually plucked up the courage to get involved into full-time commercial radio. So I worked at Good Hope FM back in the day for a few years, and then from there I actually got my first television gig, and I worked on an educational youth program, which was an SABC one called Take 5.
Right.
And thereafter, I ended up, sort of trying a couple of things out here and there, because once you start getting that bug,
Yes.
and the bug
It grabs
just bites, it bites you. And I just continued with all of that, and eventually ended up on the Espresso show when it first started. And that was a live interactive TV show from like 5:30 in the morning. So it was quite hectic, quite busy, but lots of fun. I learned so much. I eventually got into producing as well. So that was lots of fun for me. My heart still lies a lot in environmental matters, which is a big thing for me. So that's another part of my personality that's now coming out.
Kia, I just want to ask you, starting at 5:30 on a live television show, what time do you get up? What time do you have to get up?
Very early, like probably looking at 3:30 in the morning, because you got to do the makeup when you get on
Yes.
set, and everything has to be done.
Yes,
So
yes.
it is quite a procedure and a half, and the makeup takes about an hour or so. So you have to. So then there's prep. I mean, you have to. A lot of things change in the morning,
Right.
And then you got to do the prep as well. So
Yeah.
it's very early hours.
Fantastic. No, we all know, the vivacious, like I said, Kia Johnson. We're very proud of you.
Thank
because
you.
you were Kaapse girl.
Yeah, no.
Fully bilingual as well. Kia, we want to know, I know you're married now and very much in love, you're a mother. You're also a businesswoman.
Yes.
If you can just give us a brief summary
yeah.
of that part
I
of your
think-
life.
Yes, sorry for interrupting you there. I think that being in the freelance industry, you are already your own, entrepreneurial
Yes,
person, and
that's
you already are your own business, and that is part of what
Yes.
it is. But I have decided to go full on into digital content creation. So it's basically photography, videography, and a whole range of other things, like actually creating content, for social platforms, which in itself is quite the task, especially when you're dealing with corporate clients. Things get a bit tricky, and I think all the years of learning, everybody's very big and intense personalities at times. has actually taught me to be very patient. You know, when I do find myself engaging with a very demanding corporate client, which which you need to kind of like sort of back down and be like, okay, I can do this. So it is something where people always say, oh, I have my own business and then I'm just gonna be like doing my own thing. When you have your own business, you are working more than
Very
what
tough,
you usually
Very
work.
tough.
Yeah.
And having that, your the clientele that's obviously demanding, and you get a whole variety of different clients. How do you stay so humble and so focused and so energized?
I think my family has got a lot to do with that. I'm very lucky to have a lot of good support from my parents, from my sisters, and then also from my husband and my children. You'll have the worst day, and sometimes I used to be like, I'd get home and I'd be like, God, these kids, don't they know I've had a bad day? And I mean, they have this amazing, uncanny ability to kind of look at you, go like, okay, pull your socks up, Mom, I'm here. Give me some love, and it just automatically changes you if you've had a really bad day. A big part of my life right now is meditation. So I've actually began really deeply focusing my whole lifestyle, and spiritual self into a meditational type sphere. I'm still at the beginning stages. To be a proper, I would say meditative person, that, this is like your thing you can do for like 10-20 minutes. It's intense. And I'm not on that level. I'm just on the beginner level. But I find with it, what it does is it helps with focus. It helps with bringing peace into your mind. It's sort of like going, it's okay, I had this kind of day, but I'm going to draw on all the greatness that happened. And it's also being in that space of gratitude. So it's all part of that.
Yes, of course. You mentioned being family, family is important to you. Talk to us a little bit. Do you still have your parents around?
Yes, I'm very lucky.
Great.
Oh, I'm very lucky to have both of them around. My father is the talker like me. Hence,
everybody knows your dad.
Yeah, no, Zane Johnson, and we'll have like discussions until 3:00 in the morning. And now that we've discovered WhatsApp, my dad and I are like, hey, so how you doing? No, I'm good. Here's a jug, boom. And, we're like sending messages to each other. And he's like, what do you think about this? And oh my gosh, it's just the conversation between the two of us is sometimes quite funny. My mum is actually in New Zealand. She emigrated there about 20 years ago. Okay. But my mum and I have these like moments in time, and she's always got this really big, soft place in my heart. I think all mums do in your heart, because it's your mama, and your mom took on a lot when she, gave birth to you and brought you into this world, and they nurtured you. Yeah. And my mom and I have a very deep, beautiful love, like an understanding between each other, which I'm so grateful. I'm so great, and I thank God, and I thank the universe for everything. And my husband is, he's not a talker, but with me he's a talker. So he's not a talker with other people, but he can talk my ears off. Yeah.
You don't allow anybody not to be a talker in your presence, because you've just got this energy, eh?
All times I do like to get quiet, though. I do have my moments.
Okay. Okay, I want to know all these roles, so many. How do you juggle them? How do you juggle your roles?
With a great little bit of balance and tact, and sometimes screaming moments. I'm not going to lie. It's not like, people always think there's like this magic wand and all of that. And it's the same with your relationship as well within your marriage, Things are about compromise. It's about communication. It's about understanding. It's about being open. It's about hearing each other. It's about not always agreeing with each other all the time, but not being childish about it, and being grown up and being like, okay, it's fine. 5 minutes later, after we've had a disagreement, we just continue with everything. So it's got a lot to do with, I feel, balance within yourself. I find the meditation helps me so much because it helps me with focus. But it's kind of like switching off. So when I come home, there's a few hours of the day that I dedicate to just sitting with my children, doing paint, and making
Mommy
things. I must switch off.
Very
I put the phone away.
Yes.
And then people are messaging me and calling, and I'm just like, I put it away just for that time.
Yeah.
It's a short time out of the day, and that's all they're asking me for, so I need to do that for them.
Fantastic. Yeah, we all know you're a well-known TV presenter. You're everywhere. People know you. How do you handle the public when they do come up to you? If you maybe have a lovely family dinner, how do you handle that?
I'm always always open to it. I'm very, I think because I've got such an approachable nature and I'm very easygoing,
Yes.
that people automatically feel they gravitate towards me. And I can say that with confidence. You know, when you get older, there's certain things you can say. It's like, I know I'm a nice person. And I know that people like that about me. And I think I pull that because I've always had really amazing people that I've met. So if fans come and interrupt me, they're very courteous and polite the way that they do it. Never rude or in my face or anything like that. So, you know, it's amazing for me. It's wonderful. I enjoy it. So I always welcome that with open arms if anyone comes to me.
Oh, thank you. We've never ever read anything nasty about Kia Johnson, and we hope not to.
There are always nasty people out there, you know, but you just have to kind of like push forward and you just got to try and push that negative side as much as possible. Yeah.
Kia, this beautiful, vivacious, sparkly woman, what does the future hold for Kia Johnson?
Well, you know, I am a radio presenter at Smile 90.4 FM. I don't think I'm going to lose that radio bug anytime soon. I'm still going to be in media for a very long time to come. Just one of my biggest passions. And then also I'm really excited because I've officially launched a YouTube show. A show that I've been wanting to do for quite a while. It's been a couple of years and it focuses on entrepreneurial people within communities. And I want to show people that, you know, anything is possible, that our heroes are right there with us. We don't have to look at the bigger stars to gain inspiration from or motivation from or help to spur us on for our day. We just have to look a little bit closer to home and you'll find that Auntie so-and-so and Uncle so-and-so are actually the ones that are inspiring you each and every day. So it's called It's Your Time. So I'm hoping that's going to actually, you know, grow to greater heights. And of course, with my business, you know, I'm just loving being in a different space. It's exciting. I'm also meeting so many different people and just from all walks of life. It's amazing. I hope to create a bigger nest egg, obviously. We all do. And I hope to just inspire my children, you know, to be the best version of themselves as well.
Fantastic. Kia, last words of advice and inspiration to the world out there. The next person that would love to be a Kia Johnson.
Well, there can only be one Kia now. We were talking about the Matrix on the Smile show the other day. I was like, there's only one. But in all seriousness, I think that one of the things that has always stood apart about me is the fact that I've always been humble. It's not just a word that I use loosely. It's a lifestyle. It's who I am. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't be assertive. So be strong, stand your ground, stand up for yourself, know your rights, always research, find out information, and make sure that you go into the world, you know, when you're exposed to different types of people, different types of environments, that you have that kind of knowledge with you that you can empower yourself with. So that's one part of it. The other part is don't ever forget where you've come from and just treat everyone with the same respect. You know, that saying that that's been going around where people say treat the janitor, treat the CEO the same way. It's how my parents raised me. It's what I still believe in. And I think just as adults, we have a very big responsibility to our children as well. So when you find yourself being a more positive type of person who doesn't have too much of an ego, that's not your biggest drive. Your biggest drive is to go out there and help others. You'll find that so much comes back to you.
Darling, thank you so very much. Shukran very much for being here.
Afwan.
Really appreciate it. And well, that's our show for today. And remember, as this beautiful lady said, smile and the world will be a different place for you and I. Thank you for joining us. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Wel, om 'n gemeenskapswerker te wees, is dit altyd maklik, hè. Want mense kan 'n mens altyd so afkraak en jy moet presies weet wat jy doen in die gemeenskap. En mense maak keer ook hulp. En as jy ook nie vir hulle altyd kan help nie, dan is jy ook, soos hulle sal sê, die bad lady. Assalamu alaikum, hallo en hartlike welkom by Inspirational Woman. Ek is Abida Dixon Mohammed en my Inspirational Woman vandag is Auntie Mariam Edwards. En ek gaan vir julle sê, hierdie vrou, die goedjies wat sy my gewys het, is heel wat indrukwekkend. Assalamu alaikum, Auntie Mariam.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Auntie Mariam, soos ek nou net genoem het, as 'n gemeenskapwerker is dit mos nou nie altyd maklik nie. Mense het mos maar altyd hulp nodig en as baie wat mense altyd vir hulle kan help nie. Maar julle is dan nou besig met Soos ek gesien het hier, plante is hier, knitwerk is hier. Hoe werk hierdie storie?
Man, ons doen so 'n bietjie van alles. Maar soos Antjie Bida sê, is dit altyd gemaklik om te doen wat ons wil doen, nie, want daar is altyd 'n tekort aan wol, daar's 'n tekort aan finansies, want ons het net in Februarie hierdie maand begin met die knittery. En omdat ek part was van Ramadan Shoebox, het ek gevoel dat en ek het die baie die wol gehad wat hier rondgestaan het, en ons besluit, okay, laat ek maar begin te die wol opknit en ons maak maar kappies. Ek het toe my vriendin en my buurvrou gevra kom help en so aan, en was omtrent Februarie maand wat ons nou begin te knit. En ons het toe die call, my dogter het my toe 'n WhatsApp status gemaak, en alhamdulillah, the help from the community came with it, alhamdulillah, and we were able to knit 1,200 caps.
Sure.
Wat ons uitgedeel het die Ramadan het, alhamdulillah. And with that, now obviously, now het ons gebrei die kappies en die kinders dra die kappies, and then we realized, but these children, some of the children who got the caps, they're not really allowed to wear the cap in school. Ek nie soos het koud is daar buite nou. So now we've changed it up a bit, where we now knit for a specific school in their specific color.
Dan mag hulle dit dra.
Dan mag hulle die kappie dra in die skool ure. Dit gaat hier in die skool moes nou. So so ons het nou 'n skool geadopt in van Bonteheuwel wat ons nou voorberei. Central Park Primary. Hulle is een van die most disadvantaged schools in Bonteheuwel. So we are knitting for them. And ons het gehoop om vir hulle die kappies te gee by nog in die hart van die winter, but kan nie gebeur nie, maar so dit gaan nog gebeur in Ramadan wat ons nou vir hulle gaan oorhandig, hulle kappies met 'n Ramadan box ook. En daar's 572 kinders wat ons nou voorberei.
Dit is 'n bietjie baie.
Ja, maar ons sal dit maak, ons gaan naby kom, want die gemeenskap, ons community, Cape Town's community is amazing. Always when the call goes out, they always help, alhamdulillah. But coupled with the knitting, so the ladies has been gathering here at my place on a Tuesday and a Thursday. And then my ward councillor heard about what we were doing, about the garden and all of that, and then he said, no man, you need to register yourself. Because he says, when you register, then people would be more likely to give you and all of that. Okay. So that is in the process now. It's a bit daunting because there's forms wat moet ingevul word, jy moet hier gaan, jy moet daar gaan en so aan. But we're taking it one step at a time. So the process is there. We started the process, alhamdulillah. So now we're busy getting registered as an NPO.
Okay.
Right? And with the NPO and the seniors, we will now also want to take the focus not only to knitting, but where we focus on the seniors in our area.
As ek gou mag vra, as ons nou praat van knitting, praat ons nou van die huidige 2 knitpenne en dan nog met die hand nog net so.
Met die hand knit, ons brei met die hand.
Sure. Dit vat my mos nou heeltemal terug aan my kinderdae toe ek nog gesien het
Presies
mos nou doen en so. En veral waar een steek uitgeval het, dan
moet jy weer optel en so aan. And some of the ladies, alhamdulillah, that came they could all knit, but they weren't experienced knitters. So now they've learned now, alhamdulillah, they also learned to knit different patterns. And then initially we said, okay, let's make a plain cap, just knit plain and the cap will get done quicker. Then they said, no, man, het raak nou boring, nou, ons wil nou patterns. And then they started knitting cables and die ene kom met different patrone.
So, verskillende patterns uitgedink of gedoen?
No, Auntie Julie came here with her knitting book and die ene sien 'n patroon op Facebook and die ene sien 'n patroon and so on, and now they started, trying out these different patterns and so on. So that is nice, alhamdulillah. And then also we started knitting blankets as well. Because it was Mandela Day, and when another group heard about us knitting, they asked, can't you knit some blankets for us? We're handing over blankets on Mandela Day. We could only do 2 or 3 blankets. 2. We could only make 2 blankets, alhamdulillah, which was handed over, but we gave them caps. We had scarves that was still knitted after Ramadan, which we gave them. And so now we continue to knit the blankets now. So for the next whoever, when anybody come and ask us, do you have any caps, do you have any blankets, you know, then we can say, okay, yes, here we've got some blankets and so on. Ja.
Weet, jy praat nou van nut, nie? Ek onthou 'n groot auntie, ek het altyd vir hulle 'n gery op 'n sekere dag, gaan vat ek vir hulle nou na hierdie klub toe van die groot mense en so. En eendag toe gee sy vir my 'n pakkie en toe ek by die huis kom het ek die pakkie oopgemaak en dit was gebreide sokkies. Maar dit was so mooi dat ek daai sokkies het ek vir jare gehad en op die ou en weet ek nou nie wat daarvan geword het nie, maar dit was amazing the way soos sy dit uitgelyn het en wat en altyd maar my voetjies om maar lekker warm op te hou.
Ja, dit is fantasties so goed wat ek is nou tans besig om knitting te teach by Islamia, ook by die primary school. You know, because die ouers het nog gevoel dat die kinders moet nou begin te leer knit en so on. So it's a nice way of bringing it back into the community and so on.
En as u nou eintlik mag sê dalk miskien wat sal vir u of vir u hulle dalk miskien beter wees die crochet of die jukkel?
Die crochet, die jukkel gaan gouer.
Yes.
My vat vreeslik baie meer wol.
Oh.
Hy vat omtrent dubbel
As
jy net vat nou miskien net 'n bietjie meer tyd, maar as jy ons het ook al uitgewerk as jy 'n keppie knit en jy sit nou paal 4 ure max.
Yes.
Is 1 kappie klaar. So ja, as mens kan basies 2 kappies 'n dag maak.
Okay. Nou, ons los gou die kappies. U is dan nou ook besig met, ek sien u het baie mooi plante hier in die huis. Vertel ons 'n bietjie meer oor die plante.
Die plante kom, ek was geïnviteerd naar 'n vergadering toe daar in die Bontewil. Hulle het gesê daar gaan gardening wees en ek moes nou uit vir tuin. En dan ek het toe gedink toe hulle die naam noem, toe dink ek is nou 'n nog 'n maatskappy wat kom, maar lo and behold, dis nou die fynbos mense wat daar is.
Fynbos.
Fynbos.
Ek wat nou nie ken nie, wat is dit?
Fynbos is basies uit plante wat ons op die berg kry.
Well, okay.
You know, in so they came and teach the people in Bontewil how to do fynbos gardening.
Okay.
Maar toe sê ek nou weer voorbarig, julle kom nou verby, julle is in Rondebosch, julle kom verby my area, why not? Can't I also do this and implement this in my area?
Yeah.
You know, so that came from there, and alhamdulillah, so now we get our training from community, hulle leer vir jou wat is die name van die fynbos, soos daar's die wilde roosmaryn, daar's die wolbaard, hangetjie, daar's die, allemaal die rotteinsalie,
Yes.
and so on. And then they also teach us how to propagate these plants. You know, en dan kry jy nou steggies, en dan moet ons dit nou kom by die huis nou nurture, soos babetjies moes nou wat jy moes nou na kyk en so aan, en wanneer die plantjies reg is, dan kan ons hulle in die grond insit. So daar staan 2 tuine op die hoeke hier oorkant, met community bo-op, en so dis basies nou net om ons area mooi te maak. And then also what we discovered was with the fynbos, you're creating another habitat for the birds. So once they leave the mountain, they stop over at Rondebosch Common with the buildings and stuff that has been going up in our areas. There's less and less vegetation for the plants.
Okay.
So the fynbos is creating more stopovers and habitat for the birds. But coupled with that, also what I found was that it's also attracting more insects in our area. Like, 4 to 5 butterflies at a time will be there. I've spotted a hummingbird in my garden. There's the sunbird that comes there. The hadidas is here in the area. So now also, and they also teach you bird watching. So now you can also monitor the different bird species that come into the area.
Sure.
Which is quite amazing. And by planting these plants also, we get rid of the unnecessary pests that like your mosquitoes and your flies and so on. Yes, we need flies for the pollination.
Yeah.
The birds also does pollination as well as the bees, but sometimes you don't want too many flies, so we will attract more chameleons and grasshoppers and paddas en sulke goedes nou in ons area.
Wel, ek moet dan sê, toe ek inkom by die hek, toe ek nou so mooi die plante daar buite gesien en al die tipe van goeders. En dan moet ek sê dat jy seker maar baie bly vir die reën wat so lekker geval het.
Nee, presies. En die mooiste iets van die fynbos is, it doesn't require any watering.
Yes.
Because it basically, once you start the fynbos garden, hy kyk na homself. the only snag is after the rain, you must de-weed, because die weeds is mos maar iets wat gou uitkom en so aan. So hy moet gedeweed word.
Okay. Nie dat ek eintlik weet waarvan Antie nou daar gepraat het nie, want ek is nou nie eintlik nou soos hulle sal sê groen vingers en daai nie. Maar ja, ek weet net ook van om 'n plantjie maar water te gee. En ek weet ek het 'n Antie gehad wat altyd vir my gehelp het by die huis, Antie Martha. Antie Martha was mal oor die plante en sy het vir my so 'n hoekie gemaak daar in die hoek met die plante op en sy het daar aangeglo elke keer as sy kom. En dan gaan sy eers na die plante toe en sy praat met die plante.
Precies,
En dan sê
precies.
sy ook nee, ek moet praat met my kinders.
Ja, nee, presies. En die ander mooi iets is Auntie Abida is die baie medicinal. Most of these fynbos plants has got medicinal value to it. Like the krikkie roer my nie. Your rotensalie keep the pest away. Die botteblom is vir diarrhea. Die spekboom maak ons se lug skoner. And so there is baie benefits, you know, in the fynbos garden and the plants that you get.
Wel, ek moet daarom sê, u het gevaarlik baie geleer, want van al die name en goed wat u daarom nou vir my daar gegee het. Auntie Mariam, ek sê vir u baie shukran. Dit was lekker om met u te gesels.
Shukran, Auntie.
En so sê my gas Mariam Edwards, en ek gaan vir u sê, hierdie gemeenskapwerker veral ken haar storie waar haar plante en haar jukkel betref. Tot volgende keer, mooi bly. Ek is Abida Dixon Mohammed. Totsiens. Wassalamu alaikum.